All right, guys. Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm Victor Alpha 5, Mike Uniform Delta. And today, what I want to show you is I got some of my batteries I got here that I use for POTA. And yeah, that's about all I use them for is POTA. There's not really much other stuff I use them for. And I want to show you the difference between running them in parallel and running them just by themselves. So this is the 12 volt 10 amp hour Dakota Lithium. I use this one exclusively for POTA. A lot of times I'll hook it up to my truck and hook up to my own outlet on the truck. I used to use the 12 amp hour, or sorry, the 18 amp hour battery. It's a lot larger, but I didn't really like how big it was. Just it was a little awkward to be in the backpack. These ones here are a lot smaller, and they kind of get the job done. I'll put them in parallel together. They fit perfectly in the backpack like this. They actually have a little more capacity, obviously 20 amp hours, and I separate them when I have to go traveling. Obviously, you can't just you can't take two of them. It's too powerful, or there's too much amperage for the airplane. So having them by themselves is great. So on this instance, you can see I use a parallel configuration on them with the wiring, and using both of them maximizes my power. It also allows me to charge them at a higher cycle. So instead of running them at 5 amps charge, I could run them up to 10, 15 if I want. So very good benefit of it. I'm using this charger here I got off Amazon. It's a cheap one. It works. I've been using it for about 2 years now. It monitors the batteries. The batteries themselves actually monitor themselves, so when they'll shut off if they need to. But the charger does do it, and I'll show you in this video here. I will fast forward it through all the charging, so we're not waiting for it. And what the main thing of the goal of this is, I want to show you that you do not trust your battery voltage for what you have for capacity on it. The capacity will show a voltage, but you really won't know what you got for amperage left on your battery. And I'm just going to disconnect my power pole lead here, and we're going to show you. If you could see on the chart on the thing, we got 13.3 volts on this battery and 13.3 volts on this battery. I know the one on the left has been used for POTA. I took it on the trip, so it does have more use than the other one. The other one just sat on the shelf. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to hook them back up together and put them back in my pack. But before I do that, I need to charge them up to have them equally charged. And this is a good opportunity to show you just how much amperage one's going to take. The charger I do have does calculate how much charge it took. So we're going to hook it up. We're going to see what it takes to charge. And then we're going to do sort of a comparison of the two. So let's see here. We're just going to make sure it's on the proper charge, 5 amps, and we have it on the proper battery type. Okay, so let's let her charge. You see there it's running. It's going to go eventually up to the 5 amps, which I have set as maximum. And we'll just let her go. And takes, we'll see how many minutes it takes. And usually on a flat battery, it could take an hour. And this charger is noisy, so I don't let it run too long or while I'm operating in the shack, because there's a lot of harmonics on it. So I usually put it on before bed and just let her rip. So let's see, it's got her at, she's starting to go up. We got 12.9 volts. We are slowly going up. And then we'll let her fast forward here a bit, and we'll just let it take off. Let it charge up so you guys don't have to watch a boring charging cycle, right? And so while we're letting that charge, I want to just let you know that this has been working me for quite a while. I don't usually use this charger in the summertime. I exclusively charged my solar last year, and I used a solar controller, which I'll show you at the end of the video here what I've done. Now, if you do pause and see, you'll see the voltage slowly going up. This charger will basically do a trickle charge towards the end, about 14.7 volts. And the time for this is roughly about, took about 20 minutes to charge up. So we're just going to let her go, charge up 20 minutes, fast forwarded. You didn't have to wait for all this to do this. And then we're going to see what the voltage is after we're done. Charger automatically shuts off. The one drawback on this charger, it doesn't show you when it stops. It says full, and it doesn't tell you what the final calculation was how much amperage you put into the battery. So you kind of have to watch it towards the end. I mean, that's about the only drawback, unless you video it like this, then you can actually monitor and see what it did. So there we go. We're starting to slow down, and I didn't quite catch what it took for amperage. I'll put it in the description there, and we will switch off the batteries. So that one is full. We're going to disconnect it. We leave the charger plugged in. It's automatic. Let's take off our our power pole connection. Let's measure the battery voltage. So positive and negative. We got the 14.7. This one's still 13.3. So we'll hook up the connectors back onto the other battery. This one now, I'd like to remind you, it's been sitting there on the shelf for about 2 weeks now, not being used. So there it goes. It takes off. It's going to be charging. I'm also going to leave it on 5 amps max. You don't want to put too much power, too much current into a battery that's this small. I mean, 10 amp hours is not a small battery, but you don't want to give it too much. It will lower the lifespan of the battery by charging it too fast. So let's just let her go. And then we're going to see here. I fast forwarded again, and now it's full. That actually took roughly about 2 to 3 minutes to charge. So like I was showing you before, they both measured at 13.2 volts, 13.3 volts, but this one took a lot less. So absolutely don't judge your batteries that you have, these Dakota Lithiums, LifePo 4, whatever way you want to call them. You cannot just measure them by the voltage. You have to monitor what you're putting in and out of them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this harness I built. Actually, I kind of stole it out of a backup power supply for a computer. So it already has the nice connectors on it. And I just added a couple power poles to it. It's very good. Nice gauge, factory crimps. I mean, it's a great way to salvage some parts and get yourself almost a free harness. So we're going to hook this up, and we're going to make sure we do positive, because if you hook it up the wrong way, you're going to give yourself possibly 24 volts to your radio, and you're going to cook it. So we got ourselves our batteries hooked up. If you want to, you can measure them. I've done this a couple thousand times, so I don't have to worry. I'm going to hook it back up to the charger, and I'm going to put it up to a little bit more amperage, and it literally took a minute to charge up, obviously, because they're both charged up, right? So it's full. We're complete. The batteries are full. Now I got my dual power batteries in parallel. So we got 24 volts, 20 amp hours, nice package. It's all set up, ready to go. And now I just want to show you my solar controller. Hook it up here, and we'll just plug it into the side. If you want to really see what your batteries are doing and what kind of consumption you're using on your radio or what you're putting back into the solar, you don't even have to use it with solar. I mean, I use these just to monitor what my batteries are doing and how long I could operate on them. You could go in there and you can see what your battery life is, what you're going to be using in general, what you're going to be putting back into it. It's an awesome thing. I use the Power Mini 2. It has zero noise on it. It's built for ham radio. It's my buddy pole, so they know what they're doing. I've got a couple other ones off of the Jungle store. They work just as well. So there we go. We're all done. This is the how-to on how to measure, how to charge, whatever you want to take it as what you want. But this is how I POTA 73s, you guys. Hey, please like, subscribe, and get notified. See you again.